Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for attending the Agriculture Advisory Committee. Councillor Ross is away, so I'll be substituting for her, and my boss is sitting over there, so I'm a little nervous. But anyway, thank you all for attending, and with that, we'll call this meeting to order. Can I get an adoption of the agenda, please? Perfect, Matt, Brad, thank you. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Great, motion carries. And can we get an adoption of the minutes that were circulated for March 7th, 2024, please? Adoption of the minutes. Thank you, Matt. Spencer, great. Any questions, concerns? Okay, those in favor? Opposed, if any? Great, motion carried. So there is no presentations or delegations, and on to reports. 6.1, Mr. Neal.
Great, thank you. 2 items for the committee today. First is item 6.1. This is a site-specific text amendment to the zoning bylaw for 1481 Tracy Street. And Anne-Marie will be providing an introduction, and I believe the applicant is here as well, and they may wish to speak to this item. Thank you, Marie.
Could this be full screen? Is that possible? Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is an application for a site-specific text amendment to the zone to permit a farm product processing level 2 on the subject property. The subject property is located at 1481 Tracy Street. The subject property is located south of the intersection of King Road and Tracy Street. It is approximately 2.2 hectares and within the ALR. The subject property's southern property line is along an unconstructed road right-of-way and is serviced by city water main. The OCP land use designation is Agriculture 1 Uplands, and it is zoned Agricultural 1 zone. The soils are gravel and sand. The applicant is proposing to construct a 6,039 square meter egg processing facility for the processing of eggs produced by Fresh Start Egg Co-op. The existing dwelling, equipment storage building, and some of the blueberry plants will be retained. The ALC has approved a notice of intent for the project with the conditions that the applicant install a sound attenuation wall along Tracy Street, chain link fencing along the south and west property lines, and landscaping along the south and west property lines to mitigate the potential impact on adjacent properties. The zoning bylaw will support a farm product processing level 2, provided it complies with the Agricultural Land Reserve Use Regulation. The ALC in the Notice of Intent Review has confirmed that this facility would comply with their regulations and does not require additional ALC approvals. The property owner is a member of the cooperative that will be processing at this facility. The cooperative will be processing a minimum of 50% of the produce produced by the members of the cooperative at this site. Since the cooperative expects to process in excess of 4.5 million eggs per week, the permitted farm product processing level 1 with a maximum of 2,500 square meters total floor area is not capable of this volume. Therefore, the applicants are requesting consideration for the larger facility. Council has policy that allows for consideration of larger facilities called Farm Product Processing Level 2 based on a demonstrated need. The applicant has provided an opinion by an industry expert that indicates the facility has been designed and sized to comply with current and future needs. As this proposal complies with the ALC regulations, it is not required to be reviewed by the ALC and will proceed to council. Staff is requesting the committee to consider whether or not, in their opinion, there is a demonstrated need for the larger facility. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Any questions or concerns from committee members?
I believe the applicant.
Yes.
Mine?
Yes, Mark, I'm here virtually. I'd like to speak, please.
Yeah, Mr. Mr. Gaudette, yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Brian Gaudette, and as you have guessed, I'm joining you virtually. In person at the meeting, I believe, is Mike Vanderpool and Alf Wall, who are representing the egg farmers of BC. We thank you for your time. We are in receipt of the report prepared by City Planner Anne Marie, dated April the 11th. We appreciate working with Anne Marie in this application. We have reviewed her report and find it extremely well written, and as you just experienced, extremely well presented. Given that Anne Marie's report is well written, I'll try to highlight just a few key points. First of all, the rationale for the project. The current location on Mount Lehman has expanded the egg business to industrial, food service, and retail markets, and is partially owned by the BC egg farmers called Fresh Start Cooperative. It's operating out of the same building as Vitalis Nutrition. The allergen cross-contamination risk between egg and dairy has been a major concern for both businesses as they grow. Vitalis sells some of their milk products as an ingredient for infant formulas and cannot expand the market by having egg allergen in the same building. The egg business has grown to the point that the current facilities are insufficient to handle current and expected volumes. As a result, there's a very real need and an urgency to relocate to a new location benefiting both egg and dairy farmers. Now, the operation today at Mount Lehman is processing over 4.5 million eggs a week. The Fraser Valley produces over 80% of the eggs in the province. They currently employ 112 people on Mount Lehman, and over 70% reside in Abbotsford. Relocating within Abbotsford also helps retain highly experienced employees. Now, the proposal in front of you, as outlined by Anne Marie, is to build a modern egg processing facility that positions the BC egg producers for future growth, to add value through the further processing of their eggs. This new up-to-date facility will not only be approximately 65,000 square feet, but it'll also have a microbiology lab in-house to test all egg finished products before releasing them to the market. Relocating the new facility will allow them to expand their in-house lab services and testing capabilities. The new facility will also give them an opportunity to expand research and development lab to accelerate innovation and bring even more high-level science to the market. Now, the egg farmers of British Columbia joined together in 2006 in order to better control the egg grading processing and to have direct access to all their markets, mainly grocery stores. This strategy has served the egg farmers of BC very well, as the supply of eggs to the market is in the direct hands of the farmers through both egg production and egg grading and egg sales. It completed the egg business, which benefits farmers and consumers because now there's a direct connection between both parties. In order to participate in this business, it was felt that a co-op format was the best way forward. Again, this benefits egg farmers by being in control of the egg processing market and keeps this business in BC farmers' control and prevents large companies from controlling BC egg farmers. In a co-op format, all farmers share in the benefits equally and are encouraged to produce products that the market requires. It's a format that has a proven track record of success. The farmers need to control their products from the farm right through to the end user. By controlling all aspects of the process, this keeps this valuable farming activity in BC and benefits and encourages all farmers to stay in the business. This co-op format is a tremendous benefit to agriculture in BC. The proposal in front of you today is an extension and an expansion of the great work performed by BC egg farmers while planning for the future, all of which is great for BC agriculture. Now, the Egg Farmers Co-op is made up of 70 egg farmers in BC, representing approximately 80% of the egg production, and they produce 62 million dozen eggs per year. But why did they select land in the ALR? The farmer's logic is simple and straightforward and easy to understand. The ALR was set up to protect land for farming. The co-op is made up of egg producers. They produce their eggs from land located in the ALR. They want to process, they want their eggs, and processing is an approved use in the ALR regulations. Therefore, it makes sense to the farmers for them to locate their facility on land in the ALR, land that's intended to be used for agriculture. So why this site and why Abbotsford? Abbotsford is the hub of agriculture in BC. I'm not ashamed to admit that, and maybe with a sense of arrogance. And the BC egg farmers are primarily located in or close to Abbotsford. This site is close to major highways, which makes it easy to have the eggs delivered to the site from the farms and easy to have the finished product delivered to the markets. We are extremely pleased and very excited, as Anne Marie has pointed out, that in a written decision in January of this year, ALC stated that the commissioners support the construction of this farm use building, which is permitted by ALR use regulations, and it's a direct benefit to BC agriculture and encourages farm use. In conclusion, the proposal is consistent with Abbotsford's agricultural strategy of promoting agricultural activity and contributing to the viability of the farming community. The project meets ALR regulations since greater than 50% of the agricultural product that will be processed originates from the co-op's farm operation. In addition, the proposal meets the city zoning bylaw with the exception of the size, as Anne-Marie has pointed out. It's of great benefit to agriculture, the city, and the egg producers of the Fraser Valley and BC. We trust you agree and will support this project. Thank you on behalf of Egg Farmers of BC. Mike and Alf, I believe, are both present, and they'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collette. So, to our members, any questions, concerns?
They're asking us if we think the plant is big enough. Essentially, I have no experience in eggs. I don't really know, but I'd be hesitant to question their expert if they've done a full design. So I would make a motion to support it.
Is anybody prepared to second that? Yeah. Brad, perfect. Any questions and concerns on the motion? Online? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of the motion?
Mr. Chair, for a second.
Brad?
Mr. Director.
All in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion carries. Thank you.
Yeah, next item, 6.2 is a non-adhering residential use application for 3771 Ross Road. Again, Anne Marie will provide an introduction.
Thank you. So this is a non-adhering residential use application for a temporary farm worker housing. The subject property is located at 3771 Ross Road. The subject property is located south of the intersection of Ross Road and Downs Road. It is approximately 6.9 hectares, 17 acres, and within the ALR. There is a BC Hydro right-of-way on the subject property. The OCP land use designation is Agriculture 1 Uplands, and it is zoned Agricultural 1 Zone. The soils are silt and clay. The applicants are proposing to replace an existing structure with a new structure on a permanent foundation. The existing structure has been located on the property since at least 1954 air photos and was permitted as a seasonal workers housing with an application in 2007 which permitted the construction of a new principal dwelling. The applicants own, in addition to this property, a total of 29.5 hectares in production, and they lease an additional 6 hectares for a total of 35.5 hectares in production. The new structure will be approximately 300 square meters in total floor area and house between 15 and 20 seasonal workers. Although a temporary structure on a non-permanent foundation is preferred in the zoning bylaw, the zoning bylaw does support the conversion of an existing building for this use to a maximum of 300 square meters. The total floor area being proposed and the number of housed workers intended does comply with the zoning bylaw. At this time, I would ask the committee to resolve to make a recommendation to council that council forward the application to the ALC with support as presented, or forward the application to the ALC with support with changes, or forward the application to the ALC with no comments, or finally deny and not forward the application to the ALC. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Any questions regarding this application?
Did they say how many temporary foreign workers they have currently employed?
Hi, the applicant is not available. The only thing I can tell you is that they have proposed 15 to 20. I don't know how many they actually currently have.
And the farm size is verified, like that's?
Yes, they own 2 for a total of, total of 29 and a half hectares, and then they lease the 6. And I have confirmation of the lease and the 2 owned properties.
So in the area, the shaded area, had a residence?
Yeah.
And also a outbuilding as well?
Yeah, so the residence is the one that's been there since prior to 1954. It's derelict. And the outbuilding is attached to it. Both of those are to be removed and replaced with this new building. So that's what we're looking at. So the original house and that shed, if you would, is all to be demolished.
And replaced with
A new building.
Permanent structure.
Yeah, a permanent building on a permanent foundation, yes.
Which there already is there. Yeah, if the amount of seasonal workers falls in line with the acreage that they farm, given that there's no loss of farmland and they're actually improve the property, I'd make a motion to support that.
Second. Okay. Just to clarify, so you want to forward that application to AOC with support, correct?
Yeah.
So seconded by Brad. Any questions, concerns by anybody else? Online? Okay, those in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried.
Okay, Chief, that's okay, Dave?
Sure, yeah, please. Almost done yet. So we don't have any other
Thank you, everybody.
new business, so I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Great, Spencer, Brad, those in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion carried. Great. Next meeting is May 9th. Thank you all for your time.
Taking notes on how to run an efficient meeting.
Jump.